Hello everyone, welcome to a new video. In this video I'll be showcasing the Lightning Storm Druid endgame build, no mythics. This build doesn't use any mythics. It's not a crazy build, but it is a bit of a switch up from the Cataclysm build. Let's get right into it. It doesn't use any mythics yet. I want to make this endgame build without the mythics and then with the mythics, just so you have something as to build towards without having all the mythics required. There are two mythic upgrades for this, and that is of course the Shroud of False Death and the Scarlet Skies, but I'll go into that later. As the first item is the Temperature, pretty straightforward. You want the Willpower GA on there, and it's a pretty straightforward thing. For the runes on there, you have Standing Still and then getting the Earthen Bulwark. It's very nice. Just getting that consistent Earthen Bulwark while you're casting Lightning Storm, and also getting when you're stunned, every 3 seconds you just get a free new shield. That is all at 3 seconds. So you have quite a good uptime with your Earthen Bulwark, which is just a nice 30% or 45% barrier. And also that Fortified, that will keep you up. Then for your chest piece, the Mad Wolf's Glee. Really nice if you can get a GA on there. Preferably maximum life or attack speed. Those are just two really nice things. But you do want that +7 for your storm skills. Of course, you would replace this with a Shroud of False Death if you would get this. And yeah, I think that's about it. Just the usual blue runes in there for willpower. And single static reps, very straightforward. Just get Lightning Storm for your masterworking. And that's also what would be nice for GA, but I think critical strike chance is also really nice for GA, because you do want to get as high as possible critical strike chance with this build. Moving on with the pants, this is really where you want to get all of your armor. And preferably also some maximum life and all rest too. But I got a pretty shitty roll, so I only got armor and maximum life. But if you can get a GA on armor, it's really nice, because you don't really get any armor rolls from anything else, because you're utilizing a lot of uniques on this build and just willpower stuff. And actually, now that I think about this aspect is wrong. You actually want the aspect where you're getting a damage reduction for depending on if you're, I think, vigorous. Yeah, the vigorous is the aspect. You actually want that one on there, because you don't use any companions in this build anymore. I swapped that out recently, so that's why it's still there. And for the temper, I would say immobilize. Maybe stun is also good, but immobilize or stun, both are fine. Then for your boots, Rakenov's Wake. I do this because I need the cooldown reduction, and also I need the resistance to all elements. So this is just, you know, your standard boots. That's really nice. The stats on there are really good. Just for that extra cooldown reduction, which you really need for the Cataclysm uptime. And also resistance is really nice. And then you get like a non-physical damage bonus as well. So it's pretty good. Especially if you can get GA on there. I would say get GA on cooldown reduction. And that would be even better. Because you probably don't need for the all res. You will reach that cap quite easily, or not quite easy. With the boots you will reach it quite consistently. Especially this is a low roll. But if you get a good roll, it's quite easy. Moving on. We've got the Retaliation, our big 2-staff, and I would say willpower and maximum life are really good in there. Anything with like a critical strike damage is nice, a nice third stat. You can also do vulnerable damage, but critical strike damage you can actually later on get 40% bonus from your spirit wounds. Then Storm critical strike chance is pretty important, because you want to get that 100%, and of course the chance for Lightning Storm to deal double damage. Any GAs you would want willpower, maximum life is also quite good for survivability. And of course Retaliation, you want that for both, for the two-handed, so that's a double bonus. And for this one I actually got Seer, which is 5 skills, and then you become exhausted, and then with Spiritual Vortex, works quite well. So I haven't really had any problems with this for now. 3 seconds of exhaustion is just basically that you can't trigger it anymore. But I think the Vortex has a cooldown of 3 seconds anyway, so this casts consistently, so I'm pretty happy with that. Not sure what the exhausted actually means other than that, but yeah. This is actually one of the unique things about the build. I have never really played with this item before. I think it's also new for this season. But yeah, it's quite fun. It actually does quite well. I'm using this instead of the Wild Heart kind of things with the switching the boots. So this also allows me to take Rakenovs, because I don't need the Wild Hearts. Yeah, it's quite nice. Just or like this is like a 280% increase of critical strike damage, so that's quite nice. It kills quite hard, and especially if it's consecutive critical strike chance. But if you have like a 90% or higher critical strike chance, you should be fine. You should just have this consistently critting and just dealing a ton of damage compared to other crits, of course. You're gonna 3 extra damage with that. And then this is your ring. This is your ring you want to swap out with Star of Skies. That is gonna be a little bit less Cataclysm cooldown, so you will need to probably dip into the Spirit Boons, but more on the Spirit Boons later as alternatives. I just took Accelerating. Not sure if that's actually the best thing. Probably something like Unsatiated is also pretty good. But I was just thinking like attack speed is lacking still a little bit with this, so this is quite a nice addition in there. And then with the GA and Willpower, that's quite nice. And Critical Strike chance, of course, GA in there. Really got a nice roll in this ring. Storm Critical Strike chance, just getting that to 100%. And yeah, I think that's about it. Yeah, for the gems in there, I just took anything that gave both armor and all rust. That's really nice. So it doesn't really matter the all cost gems. I do have some in the build planner down in the link in the description. But yeah, that's the usual. And of course the Mjolnir. Got a good roll on this one. Endless Tempest, so I was quite happy with that. Also with the Critical Strike chance. Pretty good roll on there. Yeah, quite happy with this one. This one's really nice. 91% too. You want to really keep this one up for most of the time. So it's basically doubling your damage. So that's why it's quite important. And also Unlimited Spirit is very nice. In the like 5 seconds downtime that I have, I run out of spirit, you know, quite consistently. But now that I've got the time quite down to 5 seconds, it doesn't really bother me that much, because with the Tempest Roar and also with your Paragon, you're generating quite a bit of spirit with your Lightning Storm anyway, because you're critting and stuff. So your spirit doesn't really go down that fast that you're gone within 5 seconds. And because if it does, it really is pretty shitty. So you really want to get that spirit boon if you're above like 5 to 10 seconds of downtime on your Cataclysm, because then you're just gonna be walking around without any spirit, and that's really bad. So yeah, you do want to do that. So it does take some min-maxing to get the cooldown reduction, because you need to get on your boots and your ring. That's the only way you're getting cooldown reduction on your Cataclysm. And also, of course, Madwolf's Glee will give you cooldown reduction, because you're getting ranks to Cataclysm, and that reduces the cooldown. So that's we're not doing anything with extra Cataclysm or like speccing into Lightning Bolt damage, just because this is a Lightning Storm build and not like a what you would call it, and not a Cataclysm build. Okay, Spirit Boons, damage reduction. If you're really struggling with Spirit, go do this, but you're probably gonna get hit quite hard by the elites, so this wariness is really helpful, just as some survivability. Take this until you have like at least 85 or like, yeah, at least 85 critical strike chance without this one. So you want to get 100% crit chance, and then, you know, take this one off. That's fine. And then instead of this one, I would say take Avian Breath. By that time, you should probably also have the, I think it's called Spirit Paragon node, which will give you a lot of critical strike damage. 40% multiplicative extra is quite a lot. So you can really get some crazy numbers with this. Just having this one in there as well. And then swooping attack speed is pretty nice, but I would say swooping attacks, if you're struggling with keeping your Cataclysm up, take swooping attacks out and then put it in calm before the storm. For the third boon, extend the duration of Calamity. That's a no-brainer. You're not really gonna take this one, even though it's quite nice for spirit regeneration. It's just not worth it with this one. Just extending the duration, because this one doesn't proc that often. For something 10% on lucky hit, doesn't really proc that often at all. So you do really want to get both this one and that one in there. And you kind of need overload just for the consistent poisoning. It's a shame, but somehow they removed all werewolf damage, now poisons, so that's a shame. Now you kind of need to put an overload in there, which is quite a bit of a shame. Then we're going over the abilities. We're just gonna go through abilities very quickly, because, you know, it's the usual. Wind Shear, just put into points. Lightning with a Raging Lightning Storm. You of course want Wild Impulses just for that extra damage, even though your core skill take extra, doesn't really matter that much because you're unlimited most of the time. Earthen Bulwark for that Fortify. Take all points into here for that reduction, and also non-physical or just resistance. More in damage increase because you're going to be spamming your defensive skill for Bloodhowl a lot. Getting the Nature's Reach in there for that extra damage, which will be doubled. And Feral Aptitude is also nice for that extra damage. And I think also movement speed? Oh, above movement speed, no, just increased damage. Electric Shock, Elemental Exposure, and this Tempest. although you are applying vulnerable with your Tempest, it is just still nice that your Lightning Storm itself can also inflict vulnerable for a few seconds. Trample, this is just to get away and also just have a second unstoppable in there as like a oh shit button. And it's on like a 12-second cooldown, so that's quite nice. And Venom, just max points. If you, oh yeah, if you have another amulet, if you don't do the unique amulet that I am having, then I would say take Perfect Storm and also get points to Venom, because Venom is just really good. Natural Disaster 3 points. Defiance, get the points. You also get the points from your glove, if I'm correct. Cataclysm max points, and also get Supreme Cataclysm. This is just extra fortified gain and also damage reduction while fortified. And this is one just for extra catastrophe for extra damage. You will be casting your ultimate every 27 seconds, so you know, getting at least one out of every I guess 5%. You either get 5% here or you get 6% there, so both of them are, you know, you just get some damage bonus. And then finally the key passive with work with your amulet, which will increase your critical strikes by 286%. I think if they're consecutive, but if you have a solid critical strike chance, that's quite a lot. So, you know, you're quite consistently dealing a lot of damage extra. Yeah, that's it for the skills. We went through that in 2 minutes, so that's a little bit on the slower side. But oh anyway. First one, you want Fulminate. You get to get all of my runes are still quite low level, but oh well. Fulminate, there will be a build plan in the description if you want to go through this a little bit slower. Fulminate, Lust for Carnage is the first one, just for the extra damage and spirit regeneration. With that, there is the Electrocution for Lightning Bolt and Dancing Bolt damage. Although, now that I think about this, that doesn't really... We're doing this for the 20% multiplicative damage, not really for anything else. That's really the main thing. The Lightning Bolt damage is nice for Cataclysm, but we're not stacking that right now, because we're doing a Cataclysm build. First, we're going to go to the left for Ancestral Guidance. Also get some of the notes with the All-Res. If you get enough stats, you can actually get this. And then for this one, I have the Keeper, just for that 15% increased non-physical damage. And also some of the stats you can get in there are nice as well. Then I go up there and take, of course, in the Thunderstruck node, where you can get 60% multiplicative damage. Quite nice. There you get the Earth and Sky for that extra, I don't know, bonus of magic nodes. Sure. You can also get some nice stats in here later on if you have extra points laying around and your glyph a little bit higher level. But up until now, I don't have that. I'm just struggling for points right now. Get the extra critical strike chance node in here. I even forgot this node, but you know, you can get like 4% extra critical strike chance in 5 or 6 if you have enough willpower and dexterity, which I don't. Then when you get a little bit more Paragon points, you will get the Heightened Menace. This is the last one, and then all the way in the bottom, you will get, I think, yeah, Spirit for the extra critical strike damage. With the critical strike damage, you can actually get Avian Wrath to be do even more. 40% increase in that, which you can easily get above 1k. So this build can still grow quite a lot, but I just need all of those Paragon points. That's it for Paragon. Of course, full build planner is in the description down below. And we have Rahir just for that extra Bastion and that extra resistance to all elements. And this one just for the 10% attack speed. Just a little tip to give you guys with the critical strike chance. It actually doesn't show your critical strike chance from the storm skills. For some reason that doesn't add up, and it also doesn't show as like an extra stat in there. So do be careful, or do mind that for example right here I have 15 plus 8, so that's 23. So I'm technically at 104% critical strike chance right now. So I'm critting 100% of the time with my storm skills, which are also my werewolf skills. Storm and Werewolf have the same temper for critical strike chance. So I technically could take out the Scythe Talons and then go for Avian Wrath, but I want to wait a little bit more till I get like a little bit more critical strike chance, like 105 or a little bit higher. And then I'll take Avian Wrath instead of the Scythe Talons. And then I also probably have a little bit more critical strike damage, because then I'll have Spirit in my Paragon nodes. What are we clearing right now for the pit? around pit 60 is doable. Pit 60, 70. We're pushing to 70 slowly with our current build, which isn't that crazy, to be honest, but it is a non-mythic uniques build. So, I mean, we're not doing any crazy numbers. I do expect with the mythic uniques and that kind of stuff that we'll be able to push to pit 100 plus. But yeah, with the glyphs right now and all that stuff, 70 is right now what we're getting. Remember, none of my glyphs are above level 20. They're all like level 15. So there's still like quite a bit of multiplicative damage that is behind that. That's it for this video. I hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll see you guys next time. Ciao.